Good evening, everyone. Tonight is the night of All Hallows Eve, and I am the awesome Prussia. And I figured as an introduction to whatever all the countries are making me do, I'm going to read you an awesome story that I found on Creepypasta Wiki. I don't know how I found it, I used Google. Not really sure how that works, but this is called Mr. Smiley. And nothing better than a cute little story on Halloween, am I right? It's by Grizzly Bear, and I'm going to read the passage because it's kind of long and I'm really lazy. So, let's begin! Looking back now, all I can see is his damn face. It looks at me as I close my eyes. I can see the dripping of the black liquid as it falls from his eternal smiling mouth. His teeth are small and sharp and sit on rows like sharks do. I'm not sure why, but he lets me live. Not again. I cannot let it happen again. I will tell a tale now how I met this entity called Mr. Smiley, although it might be better to refer to as this creature as an it, seeing as the only thing that stays constant about it is its smile. I was just playing a harmless game of hide and seek with some kids from the neighborhood when everything happened. We decided it would be fun to play in the woods since there was more places to hide. Most of the woods in the area where I live have various paths for logging and mining, so getting lost is almost impossible, as about everywhere there are paths to lead you back to the main road. We are not that worried about hiding. Either the trees or the bushes, the mounds of leaves, and the small graves and underpasses make excellent places to hide. We begin with a few simple rules that made the game difficult and arguably more fun. The first rule we made was that because a few of us were not very strong in terms of how far our voices could carry over a long distance, as flu and cold season was upon us and a few of us had sore throats, namely Jimmy, Ricky, Sarah, and Timothy. Although we were stumped as how to make sounds to signal we were ready, we heard the falling of a tree, not uncommon as the area was under logging in certain parts. Only as we heard it, a thought came to mind. We could use wood knocking to signal that we were ready. One knock for not ready, two knocks for ready. This was a relatively simple rule. The second rule said that we were not to go out of range where the knocking could not be heard. This took a while to figure out in a circle how far we could go. The third rule, which also was the final one, went without saying. In hide and seek, no one could help the seeker find the others. So in the beginning, I lost rock, paper, scissors the most times, and the 11 other kids got to hide. A tradition in all the games of hide and seek that we played. I waited until everyone knocked twice for their sticks. Right at the moment I should have noticed it, but I paid no heed, because I thought someone was beginning to be a smartass. The number of knocks I had were not 24, it was 26, meaning that someone had knocked 4 times, or so I thought. As I began to search, I found most of the others without an hour of looking. Jimmy was in a pile of leaves and jumped when he saw a spider, allowing me to find him easily. Sarah let go of the branch she was using to balance on a tree and fell into the ground with a thud, alerting me to where she was. Ricky was stuck and crying in a small cave. It took a whole 5 minutes for me to pull him out. As for Timothy, he was hiding under a blueberry bush, which made him an easy one due to the cuts and thorns still stuck to him. I quickly made a round of Kai, Ginger, Michael, and Josh because they were in the same cave, just within a couple portions of it. John and Ricky were not troubled because they were fighting over the ideal spot in an old cabin. The last one was Kevin. He was the hardest to find of all, and I wish he had chosen a better hiding spot. We found Kevin as it began to go dark. He was huddled in the closet of the cabin routine. The trees were smiling. We thought that he was trying to play a prank on us, and that he had the last one to be found, but then Sal screamed at the window of the house. There was a tree. That was odd because 2 distinct features. One was the fact that it was a different color than the other trees. The bark was almost black, with grain here and there, and the second was that in the center of the tree, there was a mouth that curved into a smile, and the mouth was open. We saw rows of sharp teeth that began to grow larger and longer, and it keeps its mouth open, as if it were a living thing. We shut the door to the cabin and began to watch the thing. As it got darker outside the cabin, its smile grew wider and larger. It began to drool black liquid. I have no way of knowing that it was not there at the window at the time, but I knew we had left the cabin. I would get us. I did not sleep a wink. Holy hell! This is not good at all. I mean, it's not like it scared me at all. But I am halfway through this thing, so I figure that's enough for me now. So I'm good to go. And if you want to see something more like this later, you can let me know. But for now, I'm gonna go to my room in the dark basement where Mr. Smiley could be lurking. Like, oh God. Okay, bye now.